Hello, this is Ernesto Pacheco from the Omniverse team at NVIDIA, and today I am here to demonstrate the new Metrics Assembler extension. You can find this by going to the Window menu, clicking on Extensions, and then doing a quick search for metrics. Then you will see the three modules this extension is composed by. The extension is enabled by default in the latest version of USD Composer, but this is how you can find it if you're looking for more information. So now that we know where to find the extension and that we have it enabled, let's look at the information that we get from it. So this is a simple stage that I have set up here, and it's a centimeters stage. If you look at the bottom left corner of the viewport, now you can see there is a little nugget of information that is showing the display units for this stage. And I'm going to confirm this by going to the layer panel, clicking on the root layer, and making sure that the meters per unit are set up to centimeters, which is correct. To further demonstrate this, I have set up a couple of files at different scale units. As you can see, I have files set up to meters, centimeters, inches, feet, meters, and centimeters again. This was with the goal to demonstrate some of the workflows that we have seen from our clients and their contractors. As you know, some DCC apps operate better as specific unit systems due to accuracy. And also, we have seen 3D artists utilizing specific unit systems because of their geographical location or just by preference, and that's okay. The goal of the Metrics Assembler extension is to allow anyone to open any files at any type of unit systems without missing a beat. Since we have the extension enabled, let's open some of these files to see what happens. I want you to pay special attention to the display units at the bottom left corner of the viewport. As soon as I open the first file, you can see the units changing to meters. And I can confirm that this file is set up to meters by going to the root layer and checking on the meters per unit setting, and that's correct. So let's continue. Centimeters, and the meters per unit are set up to centimeters. Now inches, and I can check again the meters per unit are set up accordingly. And feet. You can check that, and the meters per unit are set up correct. Now that we have opened some of these files, let's go back to the extensions window and disable the extension. Right away, you can see that display units are gone. So let's go to the File menu, clicking on New to create a new stage. This stage is set up to centimeters, and I can confirm by going to the Layer panel, clicking on the root layer, and checking the meters per unit. Now let's go back to the Stage panel, select all the files, and drag and drop them to the Stage panel. Right away, you can see that some of these files came in scaled incorrectly, and those are the files that are not set up to centimeters. Now the windows and doors, I know that they are set up to centimeters, so I can confirm this by going to the Tools menu, clicking on Measure, and then selecting the Point-to-Point tool, setting it to vertex, making sure that the units are set up to centimeters, and just quickly measure the width of the door, and that's correct. Now we could go back to the Stage panel and, for instance, select all the meter files, go into the Properties panel under Transforms and scale this by 100 units to confirm from meters to centimeters. And you can see that now they are matching correctly. But you can imagine how difficult this would be if you have hundreds of thousands of different files to conform. So let's see what happens with the extension Enable. For this, let's go back to the Extensions window and enable the extension. Now let's go back to File and click on New. Right away, you can see the displayed units are back. So let's go back to the Stage panel and just drag and drop all of our files there. Now we get this message, mismatched units found on drag and drop, resolving current author and layer path on a per file basis. Now if I change my lighting, we can quickly see that all of our files have been scaled correctly. If I check on the file that is set up to meters and go to the Property panel, under Transform, there are two new resolved transforms, one for rotation and one for scale. Now the scale is doing exactly the same thing we did before, but it's doing it automatically. is scaling the meters file by 100 units to conform to the centimeter stage. The rotation is just taking care of orientation. So if I go back to the inches, I can see that the units resolve is set up to the scale factor of inches to centimeters. Same thing for feet. And the centimeters only has the rotation resolved, in this case for orientation purposes. If you're looking to find where this is all happened, you can go to the layer panel, and then by clicking on the hamburger button, there is a new show metric assembler layer. This layer only holds the physics changes, not the X-form changes, so just be aware of that. It is silent by default, but you can definitely interact with it by, again, going to the hamburger menu and enabling it. So I hope that you find this useful. I know that it's going to help accelerate some of the workflows that we have seen. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you into the next one.